What's up, guys? How the hell are ya? I'm here with my boy, Chandler. You probably already know. You kidding me? I got snake poop all over my hands, bro.
Bro, I eat snake poop every day.
Ew. We're about to have dinner, right?
Yes.
We're gonna eat these?
I'm not eating.
Yeah, I'm not eating.
I mean, not on camera.
Yeah. Chandler came over today to help me clean some cages. Always make sure you have a buddy over cleaning venomous cages. Don't ever do it by yourself. Rule number one.
Because it's boring.
Because it's boring. Or because someone's got to drive you to the hospital or something. Anyways, we're just gonna go over a few reasons why people like doing live feedings, why you shouldn't do live feedings, fresh killed, frozen thawed, do's and don'ts, whatever, just our opinions on it, you know? Put your opinions in the comments. Let's see what you guys have to think about live feedings or frozen. What do you guys do? Want to feed some snakes?
I do want to feed some snakes. Oh, this dog wants to feed snakes too.
Shiva, come here. What's your take?
What's my opinion on it?
Yeah.
Well, it's simple as this. If you feed a live rodent, let's say a rabbit or a rat, let's say rat specifically. You throw a live rat inside an enclosure with like a boa constrictor, because, you know, let's say something common. Not everyone has venomous reptiles. Somebody has a pet boa or a ball python, they throw the rat in there, and they say, I'm going to leave now because I have something to go do. They come back later and their snake is half eaten because they decided not to eat, and the rat decided to eat the snake. That happens a lot.
Yeah, a
I've
lot.
heard plenty of people say that story.
Yeah, I've seen it with, when I used to work at Underground, and people would come in with their snakes all the time. They'd be like, oh, my ball python wasn't eating, so I just left the rat in the cage with it, thinking that eventually it's going to eat it, and then it eats its snake, pretty much.
It's disgusting.
Got little holes all over the snakes. It sucks.
I mean, you see rodents, you see how their teeth are, their shears, they grind out. They're made for grinding on roots, so they easily go through, you know, a snake. I've had people show me pictures, and it looks like, you know, me eating ribs. You know, it's leaving nothing. It's disgusting.
I made a video a few weeks ago of a live feeding. Do you have any live feedings on your page?
Alright, so the thing is, when I do live feedings, it's usually baby rattlers. Like,
Right,
the South American you just got. They have to eat live when they're young. They don't eat frozen thawed right away. Most don't.
So I did a video of a live feeding, kind of live feeding. Now, I wasn't, only a couple of my snakes, like Chandler just said, my baby rattlesnakes, and a couple other little guys that are finicky eaters, like my mangrove snakes, they will only eat a live hopper. They won't touch anything dead, doesn't matter how thawed out, hot the prey item is, they won't touch it. So in those instances, yes, you have to do fresh killed. And in the last video that got taken off of my YouTube was a live feeding. I fresh killed a lot of rats just because the main reason why I do live feeding sometimes is that sometimes I'm in a rush between work and doing this, that, and the other thing that I don't have time to thaw out 30 rats in my sink and then feed it to everybody. I gotta run to the store, I gotta just get a bunch of rats, fresh kill them, and throw them in the cages and feed the snakes. So that's the only reason why I was doing that in the first place.
I see where you're coming from. I do. But like I said, like me, I have to feed live to these baby rattlers. They won't eat frozen thawed. I don't have a choice.
I just had to feed live to the
And also, the thing is, you're putting the animals down, you're feeding them off.
Right.
Period. The baby rattlers, I'm watching the whole time, waiting for them to eat. And if they're not eating right away, I'm going to take 20 steps back, sit down, start reading a book, I'm going to pay attention. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to walk away from the situation because then you end up with a snake that's half chewed. Mm-hmm. Even venomous. You know, you can have a venomous snake that doesn't want to be defensive and bite. And it's being reluctant and ends up getting chewed up. Dead.
Either way, it doesn't really matter whether you do feed fresh killed or frozen thawed. Frozen thawed's a lot easier. You order them bulk. Not everybody needs to buy 30 rats at a time though. So.
Yeah, most people just have a couple of ball pythons or boas or some leopard geckos, you know. Not a lot of people have a small serpentarium in their living room like you. That's why I'm friends with this guy, because not many friends have stuff like this. But anyways, handsome.
So I thawed out some rats. I fed everything that needs to be fed fresh killed already, so you guys don't have to see that again. Because everybody freaked out last time.
Yeah, this one's already done.
This Gaboon Viper's finishing up right now.
Look at that, that's crazy. Like a dinosaur. You have a nice collection of Gaboons. You got a whole bunch of fat noodles out here.
Oh yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I know, the thing locks up. Alright, enough talking about randomness. Let's do the damn thing here. Alright, who should we do first? Let's do the spectacle.
Love the holy spec.
Hey guy, what's up? Would you like some food? Look at the hood on this thing. You get a little close up of the hood of that. Loves this snake. So pretty. Come on, say hey. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna eat his butt first. Don't go ask him after all.
Mamma mia.
These little guys. Now, like what we were saying before, rattlesnakes have heat pits. Sometimes my rattlesnakes won't even grab this if it's not hot enough. You have to make sure when you're feeding frozen thawed, you're feeding anything with heat pits, it's got to be the right temperature. They won't even touch it. My baby rattlesnakes, like we were mentioning before, they won't even touch a frozen thawed rat. It's got to be live. Now you can see this rattlesnake right here. It's probably a 1.5 years old Eastern Diamondback rattlesnake. He's only got one button on his tail because of that reason. When he was little, I had to feed him live because he wouldn't touch anything else for a while. It took me a while to get him on frozen thawed. And the mouse at the time, it was actually a little hopper, like a tiny hopper, bit his tail and actually messed his tail up a lot, and that's why he's only got one button. And it took a while. Like that rattlesnake's tail was messed up for a minute.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, I made sure like I was watching the animal too. Like I put a live hopper in the cage with him, and like I was cleaning other cages and blah blah blah. And just in the matter of 30 minutes of me being in my snake room, it had already bit the tail, and I went and go look, and my little baby Eastern Diamondback's got a bloody tail, and half of his buttons are gone, or half of his little button was gone from that hopper.
When I was a little kid, 2 years ago, I went to a pet shop, and there's an albino boa constrictor, and basically almost all the way up to cloaca, this rat had chewed on it because the pet shop owner wasn't paying attention. He threw a large rat into there, and it chewed so bad that this animal could never breed again. So the poor animal couldn't breed. And then I've seen photos where the poor animals get chewed on like they're barbecue. People walk away, they come back an hour later, and they see their snake is half eaten by a rat.
It sucks.
The snake's not gonna eat. The rat's gonna eat the snake. The rats are ruthless.
Go online and Google it. Google that.
Google it.
Would you like to taste it?
Yeah.
Oh, tasty, tasty, tasty.
No, stop. I stopped doing that years ago.
A little tag.
Ooh, that was nice.
And then just lay it down.
It's like, it's my friend now.
Just like that. Now, one of my favorite things to feed. Bitus. My favorite thing to feed, pretty much. These vipers just grab hold and they hold them right up in the air. Super cool. Let's see this guy. Get a good shot of this thing. Guy, now he's just gonna hold him right up in the air. Ready? Alright, let's feed this other one now.
The holy rat.
Get the mother
Pick's a good one.
Which
Pick
one?
carefully. Don't be an eager beaver.
That's the best beaver.
You got the nicest looking rhino vipers.
Good. Headshot. Alright, let's give one to Beetlejuice. Let's get this big one to this big Eastern down here.
Is that the Eastern Diamondback you got from Tom Crutchfield?
Yes, sir.
Dude, that thing is...
I know, he's sick.
Oh, are you okay? Oh, sorry. You bit the sand? You don't like that? He's like, got dirt in his mouth. He's like, man, I got dirt in my mouth.
Damn it, dude.
God dang it.
Do the baby cobra. Little yearling monocle I got right here.
Hello, Mr. Cobra. Oh, there you go.
Nice. He's like, thanks.
Keep bringing him out.
I'm gonna take it back in my house. Let's talk about Eastern Diamondbacks and how they eat. I don't know if any other venomous keepers on here keep Eastern Diamondbacks, but I've had I've come to find out that if I give my Easterns at any time, and a few other friends, Lewis and a couple other people, Tom, if they get too big of a prey item, they have problems digesting them.
Yeah.
And then they go on like a feeding strike. Have you ever had that happen?
No, not a feeding strike, but I've had other people have that happen to them. And it's like, with Eastern Diamondbacks, it's once they reach like a certain size, you start offering them the rabbits that I've noticed. But I don't know, it really depends. Some people give prey items that are just way too big, and sometimes it gets stretched or maybe rupture something inside the snake. I've seen snakes that have grown little abscess inside their throat and they can't swallow anymore, and then they stop eating. There's so many variables that can happen. Best thing to do is just not go too crazy with the prey item. Try to slightly bigger than the head,
Yeah, Easterns are definitely one of those things who you cannot power feed them. It's just not. You gotta feed them a decent prey item, let them digest it, have the right heat. Like,
exactly.
They need heat to digest. Sometimes I've had instances where Beetlejuice, my albino diamondback, I've had instances where I gave him, and he can eat a large rat all day. Like, he's a big enough steak where he could take down a large, and he just doesn't digest it fast enough. And then in like 4 days, he regurgitates it half digested, and then he won't eat for like a month.
Wagner eye.
Wagner eye.
Yeah, I had that. That's there. I didn't have a problem with Eastern Diamondback, but my Wagner's viper, too large of a prey, too large of a mouse, regurgitation. And too much fur.
Too much fur, yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
They mainly eat frogs and lizards in the wild.
Yeah,
they don't.
Too much fur for Wagner eye is not good. Like, I always try to feed them rat pinkies because they don't have any hair on them. If anything, they're smaller. So that way they don't get bound up. You have to make sure tree vipers and stuff like that, you soak them regularly so that it helps them poop and it helps them digest. Otherwise, they'll get
super compacted.
Yeah, they'll just get full of shit, essentially, and then they die. Like, you'll be like, oh, my Wagner eye is huge, it's super fat, maybe it's gravid, and then no, it's actually full of poop.
The poop is toxic. At the end of the day, jokes aside, poop is toxic. It can't be in the body for too long. So if the snake is compacted for such a long time, it's sitting there, it's just decaying inside the body, it has to get out. Everybody poops.
It's a deadly meatball.
It's a deadly meatball. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, let's feed the psycho false water cobra.
Oh, cool. Can you have it come out here?
Oh, yeah. He comes right
please.
out.
I had a false water cobra. You guys don't know about this. But when I was real young, I had like a 7-foot one. And eventually ended up with Tyler. And he had it for a couple years. Beautiful snake. They chase you for food. Like, the females get like 10 foot.
Oh, of course. Now you're gonna be a psychopath. Come here. Come here.
Hydronastes gigas. I know that's part of the scientific name. Oh, so bad.
So bad.
Oh, you're
You can't look at the editing process.
What are you doing? You're editing? What are you making?
my own videos, man. I don't have an editor. I am the editor.
Nice.
I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, you are.
It's taking less time. Are you ready?
Quick little,
I'm
simple.
sure us just talking. It's just like, it just feels like so much time that blah, 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 blah.
Boom. That's it.
So much talk.
That's all there is.
Go
Make
on.
sure you... Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out Chandler's channel.
Hey,
Around a million-
like and subscribe.
Chandler's
Tyler Nolan. Tyler Nolan.
Make sure you
He's the king. He's the fucking king.
hit that notification.
This isn't a PG movie. Fuck you.
Stay tuned.
God, jeez, I'm such a nasty kid.
You're so strong. Stay tuned. More fun to come. Next couple of videos, I'm gonna go over to Chandler's house.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna play with Kevin a little bit. Talk about me getting bit by the king
Oh,
at
yeah.
Tom's house. It's gonna be tight.
I'm gonna try and buy the king.
Yeah, Chandler. Yeah, let's talk about that. Chandler wants to buy the king cobra from Tom Crutchfield that almost killed me. How weird is that?
Oh, come on! I want it to be around so you can always like visit it and handle it if you want.
Whatever. He could.
What?
He could.
It's a beautiful king
Yeah.
cobra.
Not gonna stay at Chandler's house, so I'm just putting that there. I'll come visit and like I'll be like, oh hey,
Remember that? I'm gonna name it Nolan.
sick. His name is Naga right now, but
It's gonna be Nolan when I get
I'm
him.
renaming it. Stay tuned. It's gonna be fun.
We'll see you then.